McCann's on the touchline. David Lane has got the sort of pace which should be able to match McCann, although he's struggling at the moment. Jim Hamilton, can he cut this one back? Couldn't quite get there, but there's a chance for McCann. Well saved by McAlden. And he's forced to touch it over the top. Well, that's the first threat in front of the Livingston goal. It really should have been cleared by the Livingston defence. Jim Hamilton appeared to have lost it on the byline, managed to poke it in, and that was the effort from McCann, and then over the top from Cameron, aided by the hand of the goalkeeper. Frail's corner kick. David Weir's up there with a back header, and over the top from Adam. But clearly Livingston will struggle to cope with the threat in the air from Hearts. David Weir up there to assist Adam, and the pair of them coming close. Experience with Lille and with Metz in French football, coming through the French School of Football Excellence. Plenty time for Hearts, opening up with what looks like a back three, although they quickly drift back to a back four as well. Hamilton's head flick. Livingston cut out the danger. Here's Frank Conway, signed from Brechin. Given away though, Poynton. Let's see what sort of pace Stefan Adam has. Jim Hamilton's in the middle, aimed at him, but confidently cut out by Tom Graham. Poynton has become a firm favourite with the Hearts fans. Gives absolutely everything all the time, and there's a fair old long throw too. Here's Frail, and McCann touches it first time for Poynton. Needs a good ball in. Here's Adam and Hamilton, and away from George Wright. McGee against Murray, and that's good vision from Fulton. In from Cameron, there's Hamilton. Neither of the strikers could get on the end of the early ball in from Colin Cameron. Driven in firstly from Poynton. Adam was foiled by the goalkeeper. And away from Wright. Frail finding a way past Duthie. Cameron opens out the play to Poynton. McCann's on the touchline. Fulton through the middle. There he is. Hearts fans getting frustrated. McCann against a lane, does well to get there. It's an inviting cross from Adam. Good header too. And goalkeeper Ian McAlden happy to watch that one going wide. McCann did well to whip in the cross. And at the far post, it was Adam with a header. There's Wright against his old team, obviously relishing the challenge, looking for a return from Mascree, and gets it. He was held back by Frail. He looked as if he'd lost possession, but wins the free kick. Taken quickly by David Lane. Mark Duthie. Stephen Rains is alongside him. McGee there too. And a disappointing cross. Long ball from Poynton. Adam shadowed by Davidson. Davidson sticking to him. Adam's cross beyond Cameron and away from Stephen Rains. David Weir knocks it down for Murray. Good tackle by Kevin McGee. And out from Graham. Fail to Hamilton. Brings the ball down. Crossing chance for Frail. Colin Cameron was there, and it's in. from Neil McCann. He doesn't score too many headers, Neil McCann, but that's a really valuable one for Hearts, just as signs of frustration were setting in. The McCann header puts Hearts in the lead. Stephen Frail got the crossing chance. It was a good cross too, and McCann's header in off the post. Did well, and McAlden with not an earthly. Livingston restarts. One down. What they don't want to do now is cave in. They'll have to keep their shape, keep their discipline. They've certainly put a lot of effort into the opening 24 minutes. There's a dam against Graham. Back with Fulton. And a clear foul by Grant McMartin. Holds his hand up to say guilty. Here's Poynton. Now can Hearts inject a bit more urgency, a bit more flair into proceedings. Here's Steve Frail again, and another header! And again it's Neil McCann. Well, he doesn't score too many, he's just scored two and not much more in a minute. And you can see how much he enjoyed that. So 25 minutes gone, and Hearts now have a two-goal lead. The same combination again. The Frail cross and another flashing McCann header. It was directly at keeper McAlden, but such was the pace on the header that he was given no chance. Hearts still with plenty bodies in the box. McCann, it's a good-looking cross. All the way through and away from Graham. And that's well played by Duffy, wins the goal kick. It was a very tempting cross from McCann. It's no small feat to get past David Lane as easily as that, but no takers. Now McCann, Steve Frail. Maybe a shooting chance for Steve Frail. Struck it so well, foiled by the post. Adam just misses Colin Cameron. Neil McCann goes to the rescue. Danger signs still not gone for Livingston. Combination of Lane and Davidson with the tackle on McCann, who wins the corner kick. Well, it was a great effort there by Steve Frail from outside the area. A curling shot from the edge of the box. McAlden was well beaten. Back it came off the woodwork. And Frail, having been foiled, now takes the corner kick. At the near post was David Weir, away from Tom Graham. McGee only as far as Fulton. Cameron trying to get in behind Mark Duffy. Unsuccessful. Now looking for support, gets it from McCann. Does well to hold off McGee. Fulton has Paul Ritchie alongside him. But it's good closing down by Livingston. Steve Frail, who's stayed over on the left-hand side. Off Adam. Scrappy stuff in the area. Hearts not quite finding the opening. Weir does the about turn. Poynton. And Fulton. Jim Hamilton had peeled away, but the cross was a loose one. Possession back with Mark Duffy for Livingston. And plays the long ball for Masquerade. Kevin McGee was in behind, so Paul Ritchie had to be sharp, and he does well to keep that in too. Won by Graham against Hamilton, and Frank Conway just takes a moment and plays it off Hamilton for the Livingston throw. Now Neil McCann. Fulton forward for Jim Hamilton, who's come away from the area to try to get some possession. Hasn't seen too much of the ball. McCann and Stephen Frail, another shooting chance. Struck it well. And at the second attempt, Ian McCalden collects it. It was powerfully hit from Frail, although the goalkeeper will feel that he really should have gathered this one first time. Hamilton against Graham. Jim Hamilton still has it. But breakdown in communication as the half-time whistle goes. It's been a pretty comfortable first half for Hearts against a side 2 divisions down from them. And there's the man who's made the difference. 2 headers. I wonder when that last happened, if indeed it ever happened at all for Neil McCann. But 2 headers inside a minute, midway through the first half, have given Hearts a 2-0 half-time lead. The game restarts with Hearts taking the kick-off, a real test of Hearts' professionalism in the second half. There's Tom Graham, came off Paul Ritchie, and it's a corner kick. So a flurry of excitement goes round Amon Vale as Livingston take up residence inside Gilles Rousset's penalty area. Kevin McGee with the corner kick. There's Conway, beaten by David Weir, but here's Mark Duffy. Conway again. Martin. And Kevin McGee. Need to play this in. Off the head of David Weir. There's Duffy, chance for Mascree. Good save by Gilles Rousset. In again from George White and Mascree. It's another good save from Rousset. The shot on target from Mascree. He did well. He's so sharp. He's done that for so many teams during his long career. It was fired in by Wright. It was a quick turn and shot. Round the post from Rousset. Duffy takes the return. It's a curling ball for the far post, but the ball was out, despite Steve Mascree knocking it into the back of the net. There's Adam, it's a good ball for Cameron. Jim Hamilton's making progress in the middle, Fulton's there too. And a good defensive header from Tommy Graham. He had to get that absolutely right. It was a curling cross from Cameron, tucked away. Ian McCalden getting things organised in the goal mouth. Steve Frail's corner kick, well headed clear by Graham. Fulton chasing back. Poynton. This time it was Conway clearing. Kevin McGee aiming for Livingston's lone striker at the moment, Mascree. Return pass for Granton Martin. Now this looks more encouraging for the second division side, but it's a poor cross and it's cleared by Poynton. It's a big disappointment for the home support. Duffy's cross. And McMartin's header, no real danger for Rousset, but moments of encouragement certainly for Livingston. Duffy's cross, this one really needed to be knocked back across the goal mouth for a teammate. David Lane, there's the pace. Trying to fashion a goal-scoring opportunity here. Unlucky there, but he still has possession. It's to Duffy. Off Stephen Frail, back with Mark Duffy. In from range to no one in particular. Off the chest of Poynton and back with Rousset. The last 5 minutes or so will certainly be quite lively for Livingston. Kevin McGee telegraphing what he was going to do, really there to Poynton. Hearts have it back with Hamilton. The Hearts fans becoming more and more impatient. And McAlden having to do the chasing and eventually can't keep it in. It was touched back in his general direction from Conway, but Livingston concede the corner. Hearts fans not too happy with what they're seeing at the moment. Steve Fulton with the corner kick. McAlden's lost it. In from Adam, but free kick goes the goalkeeper's way. Fulton floated in the corner kick. And yes, I think the foul was by Ritchie and the goalkeeper. That was fairly clear. Livingston making the change. And it's a double change with Mashby and McGee both going off. And on for Livingston have come Callaghan and Young. Frank Conway to George Wright. Wright's put in a power of work at the heart of the midfield for Livingston. Here he is again. His experience so important. And that's a nice ball too for Mark Duffy. It's a good cross ball and it's cut out by David Weir at the near post. That was a nice move, nicely built up by Livingston. And it was a dangerous ball played in by Duffy. George Wright with the pass inside Steve Frail. And this was potentially dangerous until David Weir got there first. There's the goalmouth for Duffy's corner. A return from Jason Young. One at the far post by David Weir against Frank Conway. Conway trying desperately to win another corner kick. Well, a little bit of excitement in Almond Vale as they thought they might have a penalty kick, but on the counter it's Hearts now. Adam has Colin Cameron in support. It's a desperately poor pass. Kevin Thomas backtracking to win possession, and Salvatore. And Hearts not winning too many friends among their fans for heading backwards with possession. Free kick given against Kevin Thomas. Now what can Livingston do in the last minute or so? That was aimed at Graham Watson. Grant McMartin has George Wright in the central midfield area, and there's Mark Duffy on the opposite side. Takes the return from Stephen Rains. They need a good cross into the box now. Won by Paul Ritchie. McMartin against Fulton. Won by the Hearts man. Thomas knocks it down for Salvatore. Fulton has Thomas racing through the middle. Cut out by Tom Graham. And now George Wright taking command in the middle. He's been very impressive. He will prove, I'm sure, to be a good signing for Jim Leishman. Duffy, that was aimed at Young, cut out by Salvatore. And that's full time. And Hearts are through to the next round of the Coca-Cola Cup, courtesy of 2 first-half goals from Neil McCann, who's been voted man of the match. 2 first-half headers in the space of a minute that made the difference. But Hearts will be more than disappointed with their second-half showing, where they failed to make their superiority tell. 2 divisions between these two, but at times it didn't look that way, and Livingston are certainly not disgraced by this showing. Final score, Livingston 0, Hearts 2.
Neil, I'm wondering when the last time was that you scored 2 goals in a match, far less 2 in a minute.
That's right. It was just one of the games that I seem to be getting in more than often, and lucky enough if I found myself a wee bit of space and get 2 headers.
It went well in the first half. I mean, Steve Fail hit the post as well, and you put together a pretty professional performance.
So in the first half we played a lot of good stuff, and we were unfortunate just to go in at 2. But in the second half we gave ourselves a wee bit more problems. We're not doing the same performance, and Livingston actually came into it a wee bit.
Jim, you were safely through, but I don't imagine you were too charmed with that second half performance.
Well, I think it became too easy for us. The first half we were doing the right things, showed that we were a couple of leagues above them. Good movement, good passing. Should have been about 3 or 4 goals up at half time. But you're right, the second half we stopped doing the things that we did in the first half. We allowed them to give them a wee bit of hope and get back into it. They obviously tightened up a wee bit more and worked a wee bit harder than they did the first half because they got a real going over. In the second half, you're right, we just switched off and we caused ourselves problems. I don't think Livingston caused us any problems. All the problems would come for ourselves. We didn't take people on like we were doing the first half. We didn't pass the ball as well. We tried all the hard things. Typical game that comes when you're so much on top. So we've just had a word with the players after it. We've not went overboard, but we just said that game of 2 halves. One is that we did all the right things.
I'll do the cliches.
I'll do all the right things in the first half and made it comfortable. In the second half we didn't, and you struggle. So, but we're safely through, and that's what's important.